Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. JC Hodler bringing up this fractal, guys, from back last summer, XRP fractal update. So far, the fractal is printing as expected. I added the 50 EMA to show that it bounced from the moving average as indicated with the orange finger. So here is today's pattern on the left, and the one from last summer is over here on the right. And what JC Hodler is demonstrating is right over here, this pattern where we have just kind of been hanging out in this level trading sideways for the last little while. And sure enough, guys, last night we did see a breakout for XRP. XRP went up as high as $1.60. And you know what that means? We are getting ever closer to that breakout above $2 per XRP. So I'm going to throw a Fibonacci on this chart. This is XRP on the hourly. And if I throw a fib on here, you guys can see XRP was finding resistance at the 0.5, right? In and around here. And, even when it was coming down, it wasn't getting past this 0.382. It bounced back up, found the resistance again, and was just kind of hovering in this level, and then finally broke the 0.5. Now it's up here in the 0.618, and right now, as of the recording of this video, we are seeing that retracement in the 0.618. Next level, and it is a key level, guys, you know it and I know it, the 0.702, which would bring XRP to a price of about $1.64. Now, if we break past the 0.702 with conviction, let me add, because we might still see a bit of resistance in and around that level before we can break out of it with conviction. So it's going to be important to pay attention to this. But once we pass that 0.702 with conviction, that means that likely we will see that $2 price for XRP again very, very shortly. And then it's going to be about, can we pass the $2 price for XRP? Is that going to be a difficult challenge? Of course, let's not forget, even though the price is $1.96 technically, that $2 mark is a psychological level that most traders are going to see as, okay, it's now a round number again. What do we do from here? And so it could be possibly that we find resistance up in around that area there. Patterns on the chart, trader psychology, essentially. I thought it was interesting to see this fractal pattern from back late last summer, kind of playing out this way before we saw that initial rally in November of 2020, right before the SEC lawsuit. We are forming a similar sideways pattern where XRP was just kind of trading in and around this area before the pump up. Sure enough, today we are seeing that same thing, trading sideways in and around this area before that pump up. And now we finally saw the pump up by about 10 cents per XRP. And I know some of you are like, well, 10 cents, that doesn't really do too much for me. Well, if you hold 1,000 XRP and the price goes up 10 cents, you're only making $100. But if you hold 10,000 XRP, for example, and it goes up 10 cents, well, that just made you $1,000. And if you hold 100,000 XRP and the price goes up 10 cents, well, that's an extra 10 grand in your pocket. So, it's all dependent on how much XRP you hold. Of course, the more you hold, the more money you are making, even with smaller moves. Let's take a look at the crypto market here. So the market cap sitting firmly above $2.1 trillion. But look at BTC dominance, guys, down to 48%. So Bitcoin right now trading at about 54,100. Ethereum trading at about 2,700. And Bitcoin and Ethereum down by a smidge. Binance coin up to $607, up 1.68%. And look at XRP up to $1.53. Clearly the winner in the top 10 cryptos today, up 8.36%. So let's get back to the Bitcoin dominance. Of course, this is another thing we have to pay attention to because Bitcoin dominance will dictate where the altcoin market will go. Historically, we have looked at Bitcoin dominance and noticed that when Bitcoin dominance goes below a certain level of support, we have seen altcoins rally, and sure enough, it is breaking the 50% support level. From back in September of 2018, we found a lot of resistance in that 50% support level over here. I don't know if you guys remember that day where I drew all this up on the chart to show you guys that that level had been hit several times before the altcoin rally of 2017, 2018, and now sure enough, again, we are getting into that zone, or breaking past that zone. That is the 50% level. Looks like Bitcoin is moving straight down there. So all things that we should be paying attention to. Who woke up this morning, saw XRP over $1.50 and was like, hooray! More movement for XRP. I thought I'd have to wait longer. Put it down in the comments if you guys were pleasantly surprised. And today's an important day for the SEC Ripple lawsuit. There is a hearing happening, a telephonic hearing happening today, April 20th. So I'm curious to see what will come out of that. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. The SEC wants to find out whether Ripple pumped XRP. The SEC is contacting foreign regulators, so there's been a lot of back and forth with regards to this. Ripple's discovery fights with the SEC are heating up, with the latter submitting yet another letter to Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn in which it defends the decision to contact foreign regulators. The agency claims that it is seeking information from overseas entities to rebut some of the company's key defenses, particularly it attempting to find out whether or not Ripple's activities are linked to the price of the affiliated XRP token. Obtaining intraday trading data from foreign exchanges, so this is the latest, is the only way to determine this, since the defendants themselves claim that they are the only repositories of pricing information. Furthermore, the request seeks evidence critical to rebut defenses Ripple has raised. These include, for example, Ripple's defenses that XRP price is not determined by Ripple's activities, a defense to which intraday trading prices of XRP on foreign platforms, which Ripple used and which, according to Ripple, are the only repositories of this pricing information, is indisputably relevant. So there was a letter drafted up here, this from James K. Fillon, and you guys can read this entire letter drafted up yesterday if you wish, from the SEC requesting this. Some people down here saying, you know, this is kind of ridiculous. Gary down here saying 90% of Ripple's business partners outside the USA do not care what the SEC thinks. They view XRP as a currency and use it as such. It's time the corruption within the SEC is brought to light. That day is coming soon. Here's what I think. That's the name of his Twitter handle. It says, the award for the most delusional government body goes to the SEC. Jay Clayton is not here today to accept the award, but Gary Gensler will accept it on his behalf. Gary Barber down here saying they make a good point. I support Ripple in defeating the untrustworthy SEC, but I too am curious if Ripple has manipulated the price of XRP with large strategic movements of assets. R plus ET down here asking, I only have one question. How could they have brought the lawsuit alleging Ripple was manipulating the price and are only now looking for the proof of said manipulation with the use of MOUs? Many interesting questions that still need to be addressed. Jesse Hines also saying SEC attorneys are not so happy about this, retweeting out James K. Fillon's tweet here. Agent Smith V3 down here saying, who cares? Also, are they confessing? I'm writing to the judge for all the world to see to a lie of omission. Sure, we said we were contacting X number of entities, but we didn't tell you at the time they were overseas, and the only reason we brought it up was because we were busted. Interesting to note. Dingo ate my XRP responded down here, by SEC logic, they need to leverage MOUs to 30 international entities across the planet to get intraday XRP prices. Bro, just go to CoinMarketCap. An absurd overreach. Agent V3 down here saying, or the ledger itself. That's the other thing, right? The ledger is public. Anybody can see any transaction on the XRPL. So he says, on the ledger itself with which they are involved. So this is the update. I am curious to see what will happen today. Again, I'm recording this video before the telephonic conference, so hopefully we will get an update today. I also saw this guy's from Crypto Eddie from a couple of days ago, Mr. Katao, that's right, Mr. Yoshitaka Katao, in the shareholders presentation of SBI. After the current lawsuit, Ripple will go public. Chris wants to do that. R3 will also go public. We know R3 is Ripple enabled, and we are the largest outside shareholder. This coming from Mr. Yoshitaka Katao, and DJ Peter Vass shared this article here from AMB Crypto with regards to this. Post Coinbase's successful listing, industry experts seem to be guessing the next crypto player to go public. All right, we've heard murmurings of Kraken. The Coinbase launch was very popularized, one of the biggest or bigger ones to be launched on the NASDAQ earlier this month. So we've heard it from Kraken. There has also been talks from Ripple Labs, but Yoshitaka Katao, founder and CEO of SBI, recently unveiled that Ripple was planning to go public post the SEC lawsuit. During the firm's earnings calls, Katao emphasized the vision of Ripple's co-founder, Chris Larsen. And here's what he stated. After the current lawsuit, Ripple will go public. Chris wants the company to move in the same direction. Last year in the World Economic Forum, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse was quite optimistic about the IPO in the blockchain and crypto space. Here's what he said. We're not going to be the first and we're not going to be the last. I remember remember that quote. But I expect us to be on the leading side. It's a natural evolution for our company. Of course, this was all before the SEC lawsuit, and I'm sure that a lot of this got pushed back timeline-wise just because, I mean, it'd be very difficult, I would think, to go public if you are being sued by the exact body that would be regulating that IPO. So Garlinghouse also underlined that he expected their company to go public by the beginning of this year. Things are, of course, not going as per Garlinghouse's plan thanks to the ongoing SEC lawsuit. SBI, Ripple's biggest partner, had recently announced to offer its shareholders the option to receive XRP as a benefit for a second year in a row. Ever since its tie-up with Ripple, SBI has been a steadfast XRP supporter. Katow also emphasized that the current lawsuit in the United States wouldn't affect Ripple's dealings globally. However, at this juncture, it would be interesting to see whether or not new regulatory framework in the United States would favor the financial ecosystem or not. So there is that. I mean, they could go public. I mean, let's say theoretically the SEC had nothing to do with their launch if they did launch an IPO and they did go public. I'm sure there would be a lot of investors around the world who would be interested in purchasing Ripple shares just because they do have business globally. Clearly, this is not the situation we're in. They will likely put it off. Their plans were to go public at the beginning of this year, which would have been likely very, very good for XRP price as well. Into a bull market, they realize this. They understand the cycles. There are bull markets, there are bear markets. This is no surprise, or rather no secret to many of us in the crypto space. And so they wanted to go in, same with Coinbase. They wanted to, or their plan was to go into an IPO, likely in the upswing of the bull market. Sure enough, that plan was thwarted, and, for Ripple, I think it's only a matter of time. They will do well on the stock market. The company is doing well globally. It's just this last hurdle, right? The SEC lawsuit. Once we get past this, and we are going to get some more information today, once we get past this, though, I think it'll be full steam moving forward. So going public for Ripple would mean diversifying itself and expanding its operations and revenue streams as well. With an amalgamation of both organic and inorganic growth, Ripple could compound its enhancement rate and the listing, which has been in the cards for quite some time now, and that would merely be the icing on the cake. So some interesting insight here from Yoshitaka Katow. Wanted to thank DJ Peter Vass and Crypto Eddie for sharing that information. And guys, this from Matthew Liny here on Twitter. I thought this was really interesting. This happening across the pond in Europe. So this is coming from the European Insurance and Occupational Pension Authority. This is the body that deals with some of the pensions in Europe, and this is from April 2021. So this is current information here. The paper does mention Ripple. So I will link a link here to this paper if you guys are interested in this. This is a 38-page document, a discussion paper on blockchain and smart contracts in insurance, talking about use cases and other interesting factoids in this document. But what I also wanted to mention was this, the fact that they talk about investments in crypto assets particularly, so the pension fund itself. In order to identify insurance undertakings investments in crypto assets, the EIOPA has issued Solvency II Prudential Solo reporting data. It is sought to identify these investments by assessing the name of the asset, the issuer of this asset in the list of funds provided by the ESMA, and by one NCA. Most of the relevant assets identified are Bitcoin and Ether ETF trackers, which I think has become a lot more popular with pension funds in the United States and Canada, I know specifically, and now the Europeans are looking at it. While EIOPA has not identified any investments in other crypto assets like Bitcoin Cash or Ripple, notice they mentioned Bitcoin Cash or Ripple as another two potentials that they're eyeing. It is important to note that the identification method used is not comprehensive and does not ensure the detection of all investments in crypto assets. So they are saying we do not know every single crypto asset that is being invested in. And not only that, they are also signaling out Bitcoin Cash and Ripple, meaning XRP. I'm assuming they mean XRP here because they're talking about crypto assets and not stock in the company. But they are signaling out these two particular cryptocurrencies as potential cryptos that they have their eye on for investment opportunities down the road. It goes on to say for a complete analysis, it would be necessary to request undertakings to identify these types of investments, for example, via the CIC code, which currently does not exist for these types of investments. So, boom, European Insurance and Occupational Pension Authority, as recent as this month, guys, April 2021, eyeing cryptocurrencies. We don't have 100% of the information here. However, I do think this is great, not only for Ripple and XRP, but for the cryptocurrency community in general. general. You gotta think, these are pension funds. These people are responsible for making sure retirees can live a fulfilling life until the day they die. That's a lot of responsibility on one's shoulders. They are tasked with making sure they are invested in the right instruments, the right financial instruments, in order to keep the pension fund growing, right? So they have to, it's going to be a mix, of course. They have to invest in some more traditional assets that might be a little more reliable, but that might not yield as much in terms of returns. But, they're also looking at cryptocurrencies. This is the first time in history that we've been hearing this kind of thing. And, it started a couple of years ago. Now we're seeing this expand into Europe. It's also great to see that Ripple, or XRP, is also on their radar. So $1.64 for XRP, breaking through the 0.702 with conviction. You think we'll see it by this weekend? Tell me down in the comments, because I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.